Hey, I'm Michael Smith, CEO of Bluefield Realty Group, and today we're talking about something very important, and that is the difference between customer service and client service when it comes to how you interact with a real estate agent. So when you first meet a real estate agent, let's say you go to an open house, at that point in time, you are a customer. All that means is that you have not yet entered into a written agreement for them to represent you. If you do decide to hire an agent, at that point you become a client and you're entitled to a higher level of service. At that point, you have what's called a fiduciary relationship, which means the agent is legally required to act in your best interest. Now, legally, there are still some things, some duties that are owed to you as a customer by a real estate agent, according to South Carolina law. Primarily, that's to be fair and honest, to provide accurate information, and to disclose any material adverse facts. Keep in mind, though, the agent is not legally required to promote your best interest until you decide to sign the agreement and become a client. So as a client, you become entitled to a higher level of service and additional duties, including obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accounting, and reasonable skill and care. So what does obedience mean? This one is often misunderstood. Here's a great example. If you're looking at a property listed at $300,000 and the client asks the agent to write an offer for $280,000, even if the agent doesn't think that's a good idea, while they still might provide advice, ultimately at the end of the day, it's the client's decision. So if they want to submit that offer, the agent owes them obedience. Now, loyalty simply means that the agent has to do what's in the best interest of the client. They have to put their needs above their own, above the needs of the other party or anyone else involved in that transaction. Next is disclosure. And here's where we can draw a pretty significant distinction between customer service and client service. Even if you're a customer, the agent owes you the duty of disclosing any material adverse facts. But as a client, they have to disclose anything that they feel might be at all relevant to you. Next is confidentiality, and here is another example where we can draw a distinction between customer service and client service. Even as a customer, according to South Carolina law, real estate agents owe you what's called limited confidentiality. Basically, that means they cannot disclose your reason for wanting to buy or sell or how high or low you would go in price. Those are the only two pieces of information that have to be kept confidential if you're a customer. Now, if you're a client, this means they have to keep everything about you and your situation confidential unless you explicitly give them permission to disclose it. So accounting simply means that the agent has to be able to account for any funds or property that they have on your behalf. This can mean earnest money checks, keys, anything like that. And last but not least, reasonable skill and care. Now, this just means that the agent has to represent you to the best of their ability. It's not just about doing what you ask them to do, it's about doing it well. All right, so just to recap, in South Carolina, when you're dealing with a real estate agent, you're either a customer or a client. Anytime you talk with a realtor, you are a customer, and there are some basic duties that they owe you. However, if you decide to hire that agent by signing either a buyer agency agreement or a listing agreement, at that point in time, you become a client and you're entitled to a much higher level of service. If you have any questions at all about this and how it relates to you, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email, and we'd be happy to have one of our top agents reach out to you and make sure we answer any of your questions. At Bluefield Realty Group, we strive to be your guide through the real estate process, minimizing stress and maximizing results. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.